Hello, we are ready for lesson number 18 today. I know that the last lesson video was a little bit longer than normal, and so we're going to be a little bit shorter today, but we do want to talk about some practical tips for the family life. God's people have got to rise and fight against the enemies of the family life. The downfall of the family is never God's will. In the Old Testament, God told the children of Israel that he hated divorce in Malachi chapter 2 and verse 16. And Jesus said in Matthew chapter 19 and verse 8 that from the beginning speaking of divorce, was not so. The Creator meant for families to be the backbone of society and the church. It was his desire that a father and a mother who loved each other and loved him would have children and raise children to love him and to serve him as well. Together, this family unit was supposed to serve him and serve each other and serve those outside of their home unselfishly. Working at marriage, and it does involve work, is very important to understand. It means that neither spouse takes the other one for granted, that neither spouse prefers themselves before the other. Conscious effort must be made to express the love and commitment that brought them together in the first place. And there's a few things that can be done in order to do that. Dr. Nathaniel Branden, in Advice That Can Save Your Marriage, suggests several ways to show affection to your marriage companion. He says, tell each other, I love you often. It's very important to use your words to tell the other how you feel. Be physically affectionate. He says, hold hands and hug each other, or sit close to each other when you're talking to each other. There's a very important aspect of the physical touch that's so important in a love relationship. He says it's very important to express your love sexually. And of course, we know that the act of marriage is how we have the fruit of marriage, which is children. But it's also a gift of God for the mutual enjoyment of both the husband and the wife. He teaches, mention the things that you admire and appreciate about your spouse. Compliment each other. Speak encouraging words to one another. Share thoughts and feelings and talk about what's on your mind and on your heart, and confide in each other. Tell each other what you're concerned about or what you're praying about or the good things that are happening in your life. Express love by giving gifts or doing little acts of kindness for each other. Look for ways to show through your actions that you love your spouse. Find time to be alone together with your spouse, which can be very difficult in today's world, and especially if you have children. But that alone time together is so very vital to the marriage relationship. These suggestions take effort, but they will strengthen your relationship and they will bring joy into your marriage. When two people make a decision that they are going to work together following Christ's example and word, the proper foundation for a family has been laid. Through good and bad, God is the head of everything in the home, and he will give you grace and strength for whatever the trial or the struggle may be. Some of the characteristics of strong families that develop when God's word is followed are happiness. You find parents and children who get along with each other and they practice the love of Jesus Christ. You'll find a relaxed and open atmosphere where the relationships are free of conflict. You'll find a family unit that's actively reaching outside of their home to affect others for eternity. This is possible when the family works together to love God, to love each other, and to love those around them. This is God's perfect will for the family. When was the last time you asked God to help you in your family? There is no greater time than the present to ask, believing that God will work in your family. God's promises are true. They're for you and they're for me. God bless you. God bless your family.